Pogba! What's going on, lads? We are back with a video on Paul Pogba. Yes, Pogboom is back. The AS Monaco centre midfielder, box to box. Take a look at these stats at level 1, lads. This is a phenomenal card. It just depends on how many coins it is going to cost you to get him. Now, we're going to talk about this card in detail. We're going to show you some really cool hidden stuff with this card as well. And kind of like, this is how the game is playing right now, to have this in your arsenal. Now, as I mentioned, right, is Pogba worth it? We got 2 spins, 200 coins in total, and we got Zakaria and Pogba from the brand new AS Monaco pack. It's always going to be worth it if it's only costing you 200 coins. You get nothing for 200 coins in the game. And Pogba, when you look at him deeper, right, his positioning, his dribbling, his player model, and his player ID, his animations are really phenomenal in this game if you play to his strengths, right? He actually really surprised me. So we're going to take a look at this in a little bit more detail as he scores a lovely goal there. It's not just power. He does have the dance moves as well. But when we actually take a look at this, now, bear in mind, lads, just a little bit of a warning. I did change the build slightly from this, but this is kind of what you're going for, and this is what I was testing. Pretty much threshold stats in everything that you see here. Attacking awareness, ball control, tight possession, low pass, and of course, we're going to have the physicality in a second as well. But this is what you're going to get. The attacking awareness for a box-to-box, it needs to be 85 to actually get into these areas. When you get into these areas, then you need to have the dribbling and the animations to actually kick in, which Pogba does have. Then you're talking about his player model, right? You might look at the speed, the acceleration, the kicking power, the physical contact. Huge stats for a card that's quite low rated with the meta players. But he can literally score from everywhere. Sorry, lads, I'm chewing a gum at the moment. I should have spat it out. But he can score from pretty much anywhere in that attacking midfielder role. His physical contact is huge as well. I have slightly altered the build I'll show you in a second. But you can see here he just brushes N'Golo Kante aside. Now, I'm going to keep that in mind as we look at the build and look at why I've changed that build and stuff, right? And I'm going to explain why. Because a lot of people don't really realize the player models and the effect they have. Those are the skills that I give him. That was the booster that we given him. But I do think that the big game changer with this Pogba card, and it's not just Pogba, you know, Hullet has it as well. This is the big game changer with him, right? He does not need pretty much any defensive skills or anything because of his leg length. He has got the same leg length and the same player model behavior as Patrick Vieira and as any of those guys that are able to just win the ball, and the ball is just attracted to him magnetically, right? Now, the reason why I showed this graphic, okay, and the reason why I'm going to be doing a few more videos on this is because if you want to get the best out of your cards, the meta has changed, right? You do need to, if you're, you know, going for the top ranks, right? I know a lot of us play for fun. We're not pushing esports, you know, style. But if you are going for it, you need to have your cards very balanced, including their player model and their player ID and how they handle on the pitch. And then you can override and overcompensate for some of their weaknesses. And that's why, you know, an unbelievable player becomes an unstoppable player, right? Pogba is not unstoppable, okay? But this is more a card geared towards free-to-play. Now, watch that possession there where he starts to move and finishes unbelievable. There is some cards in the game, 106, 107 overall, that won't put this pressure on and will not be able to finish in these situations, especially with the finishing that he has. Now, I know, look, with Zakaria here, I know that you can, you know, override a lot of that with stunning passes and shots, and the stats don't matter, but this was the build we settled on. 5, 4, 4, 13, 10 into lower body, 5 into aerial, and 2 into defending. You might say, Barry, is defending into 2 as a box-to-box too low? In my opinion, lads, no, because I was playing him as a kind of like a single pivot that was going the length of the pitch and had a free role to be able to do what he wanted. Obviously, we're not going to get a prime Pogba, you know, card anytime soon, but definitely one of the best free-to-play cards. And I know you'll say he's not really free-to-play. Well, worldwide players of the week are not really free to play either, but I do think that because I got him in 200 spins, I am cheating a little bit and saying that he is kind of free to play because I use free coins to get him, and I got him in 200 coins. But if you take a look at N'Golo Kante here, who Pogba just absolutely, you know, destroyed earlier on in that clip, right? This is where the player model comes into it. Kante has better stats. He's going to have more, you know, defensive stats on him. But Pogba is just able to bully him because of his actual player model and his leg length and his strength and his shoulder width and all of that as well, which comes into it. But I do feel like that these cards now are setting the precedent for how the game is handling. It's the perfect balance between speed, player models, animations, and of course being able to shoot, even with low finishing stats. So for me, lads, Pogba has been one of the most fun players to use in my free-to-play. Is he worth 800 coins? I don't think he's worth 800 coins. If you have to draw 8 of the cards from the Monaco pack, and he is going to cost you 800 coins. I personally don't think that he's worth 800 coins because you probably have better attacking midfielders like hold players, creative, or even orchestrators that can do both roles, especially if you've got meta players. But he's definitely a fun card. He forces you to slow your play. And I do think that he can open up a lot of opportunities. Let me know if you guys have got him. Pogba is back. It's a really cool card. I will talk to you guys in a bit. Don't forget to subscribe.